Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing very well. I'm back again with another what I eat in a day video on Too Mad, and this is a low carb day. I normally have my first meal between 12 and 1 p.m. and the first meal for today is a cheesy egg pizza. So what we're going to be using for the first meal is some salami and chorizo slices, some mozzarella and some parmesan, 2 eggs and sausage. You can use 2 sausages if you want. I only had one, so I'm using one. And I'm using a Chipolatas because they are high in protein and fat and low in carbohydrates. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break 2 eggs in a bowl, and I'm going to season with some chili flakes and some Knorr seasoning, and then I'm going to mix that together and set aside. And then in a grease pan, I'm going to slice up the sausage, and I'm going to cook that for a few minutes. Just gonna make sure that it's properly cooked, and don't forget to check the description box for all the measurements, ingredients and nutritional values. So once that is cooked, I'm just going to set that aside, and in the same pan I'm going to add the egg we've just mixed, and I'm going to let that cook for a few minutes. And just when I'm happy that the bottom is cooked but the top is still a little bit runny, then I'm going to add the sausages on top, and I'm gonna add half of my mozzarella cheese and half of my parmesan. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add my salami and chorizo slices. You can use whatever slice, can you pepperoni, whatever. And then I'm gonna add the rest of my cheese on top of that. I'm gonna let that cook for a bit. I'm gonna cover the pan so the moisture can melt the cheese. I'm not gonna cook this for a long time. And that is the first meal, a cheesy egg breakfast. I'm just gonna pop that in a plate, and I'm going to show you how cheesy it looks when you cut into it. See how cheesy and gooey that looks. It's very, very tasty and very, very filling as well. Again, like I said, all the description, all the nutritional value and measurements and ingredients will be in the description box below, so go and check that out. So for our second meal, I normally have this meal between 4 o'clock and 5 p.m. And for our second meal, we are going to be having some broccoli stuffed chicken breast. Nom, nom, nom. This one is very, very delicious. So the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven at 200 degrees Celsius, and what we're going to be needing for the second meal is some chicken breast, some Philadelphia cheese or soft cheese of your choice, some cheddar, parmesan, some broccoli, bell pepper, seasoning cube, and some spices to season the chicken breast. So I'm using garlic granules, crushed chilies, and mixed herbs. So I'm just going to pop the broccoli in the bowl. I'm going to add in the bell pepper, and I'm going to add in all of the cheeses. So I'm going to add the cheddar, parmesan, and the soft cheese. And I'm going to go ahead and mix that together. And once that's been mixed together, I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to go over to prep the chicken breast. So for the chicken breast, I'm just going to cut that in half and create a pocket. I'm just going to do that for the remaining 2 chicken breasts. And then after that has been done, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to season the chicken breast. So I'm going to be using some crushed chilies, garlic granules, mixed herbs, and half of my seasoning cube. And then I'm going to go ahead and rub that in. And I'm going to flip that to the other side, and I'm going to repeat the same seasoning. So some mixed herbs, some crushed chilies, and some garlic granules, and the rest of the seasoning cube. And then I'm going to go ahead and rub that in as well. I'm gonna also try and rub in some of the spices into the pockets so that can be spiced in and out. And then after that has been spiced, I'm going to go ahead and start stuffing the chicken breast. So I'm going to be stuffing the chicken breast with the mixture of the broccoli, the cheese, and the bell pepper. You know, all the things we mixed in the bowl. So I'm going to put that in the chicken breast. Every time I make this meal, my stuffing is always too much with the measurements. So what I do is I am going to show you what I'm going to do with the rest. So I try and put in as much as possible into the chicken breast, and then the remaining of the stuffing I will show you in a bit what I do with them. So I'm just going to try and stuff as much as possible. You can also use toothpicks to hold that in if you want, but I didn't. Next thing I'm doing is I'm just spraying a pan with olive oil just to make it a little bit greasy, and then I am going to brown the chicken breast. So I'm cooking the chicken breast in the oven, but I'm just browning the sides in the pan first. So I'm just going to cook that for about a minute or so on one side, and then I'm going to flip that to the other side and cook for another minute. And once that has been cooked, I'm going to get foil paper and I'm going to put each of the chicken breasts and wrap them in foil paper before putting them in the oven, because chicken breast gets dry very easily. You can easily just pop them in the oven in a baking tray, but they normally get dry easily, so that's why I'm putting them in the foil paper first, so to retain some of the moisture. And then for the rest of the stuffing, I'm just going to pop that on the foil paper as well. I'm going to put that in the oven too, but I'm going to put that at the last 5 minutes. So I'm just going to wrap that up in foil paper and set aside and pop that in the oven in the last 5 minutes. I'm just going to pop the chicken that I've wrapped in the baking tray, and I'm going to pop that in the oven for about 20 minutes. Remember, your oven has already been preheated. And then after 20 minutes, the rest of the stuffing, I'm just going to pop that in the oven for another 5 minutes. Now I'm just going to cut into the chicken breast after it's been cooked, just to show you what it looks like. And I've just served the rest of the stuffing at the side. I hope you enjoyed this meal and let me know what you think. So today's snack, I am basically having salted peanuts. So these are very rich in fat and protein and low in carbs. So I'm going to have that throughout the day. I just measure whatever portion that I want, and I just pick it throughout the day when I feel peckish. So all the total calories and nutritional value for all the meals for today will be in the description box, and also the list of ingredients and measurements. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.